Morning, grunts. Welcome back. Uh, Quite a chain of events we got going on in our country, don't you think? The attempted assassination attempt on former President Trump slash the Republican candidate for president again. I don't follow politics. I just happened to catch the highlights of that on the nightly news segment the other day and thinking, wow, different times we're living in these days, right? And so we really got to be careful what we do, what we're doing. So found it. Well, I'm familiar with this song. It's called "It's So Nice to Be With You" by Gallery. The song came out in 1972, and I stumbled on this song on YouTube the other day, and I listened to it on repeat all the way out. Took the kayak out yesterday morning, did a little kayak fishing. Where I live, I live along I-80, and so when they were constructing Interstate 80 across the country, there's a bunch of what we call sandpit lakes. And so, and all those lakes have fish of different species in them. But anyways, I went out to one of those lakes just east of town here, and I had this "It's So Nice to Be With You" on repeat. Such a good song. And it really kind of rings true with, you hear a lot of these big bands when they sing about women. It's completely different than it is now. And gonna hit you with some of these lyrics. Oh, it's so nice to be with you. I love all the things you say and do. And it's so nice to hear you say, you're going to please me in every way. Honey, I got the notion you're causing commotion in my soul. Wouldn't that be nice to have a woman just like this is described? I was dating a gal for, I'll be going on almost 5 years now. And I ended up breaking up with her because she was nothing of what these opening lyrics were saying here. And it goes on to say, baby, you and me got something that's real. I know it's going to last a lifetime. You better believe it, girl. At night, I call your name. Darkness fills my room. I'm only dreaming about the time I'm going to be with you. And then it goes on to do the same chorus again. As I listen to that song, I keep thinking, man, I was born in the 70s, raised in the 80s, and dated in the 90s, and on to married, for the 19 and a half years, divorced, and then back in the dating market. It's really it's hard to describe the current dating market in a positive term, other than it's just a cesspool of shit. And so like I said, this song going on repeat. It's about a 20-minute trip each way out to this little lake. But yeah, you can listen to the song probably 5 or 6 times each way. Such a nice song. It really describes women behavior back. And this, like I said, this song was released in 1972, so just 4 years before I was born. But such a good song, and it really, the artist here or this band is really describing the women of that era for the most part. So good tune. It really makes me think, man, it'd be nice to have a woman that would be so nice to be around, that you would love all the things she says and does. And it's nice to hear that, be nice to hear her say that she's going to please you in every way. I mean, wouldn't that be great? So thought I'd share that with you guys, something to ponder over. Um, the main topic of this video today is Tractor Supply did away with their diversity, equity, and inclusion um, department. I guess they're stepping away from DE&I. And let me pull up here. And every time I get on this Zoom, it's always updating. So now it's almost completely new to me again. So I found on social media, I found someone had actually posted a new company or a statement from Tractor Supply regarding their stepping away from DE&I. So there's a actual statement here, and let's see here if I could share this. Like I said, whoops, actually minimize the whole. You think I don't know what I'm doing? I probably don't, but let me see here more. If I can find need to find the share screen. Here we go. Share. Let me see if I can share the screen. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. See if I did it right. Okay, here we go. Let me make this larger so I can read it. So, anyways, Tractor Supply is stepping away from diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I've got their statement here. Found this on social media. And of course, before I come out here and talk to you guys about these things, I want to kind of fact check it. So I go to the interwebs and I search this same topic and see what I can come up with. And I can positively confirm that this is what Tractor Supply has done. So I'm going to go ahead and read their statement here. And it's dated June 27, 2024. And they want to say, for more than 85 years, Tractor Supply has been focused on one thing, serving life out here. Every day, our 50,000 team members take care of our customers like family. We deeply value our relationship with our customers and the communities we call home. We are passionate about being good neighbors in our hometowns because without you, we would not be what we are. It is imperative to us that our customers' hard-earned dollars are taken care of, our team members, and the communities we all love. As you support us, we have invested millions of dollars in veteran causes, emergency response, animal shelters, state fairs, rodeos, and farmers markets. We have also invested in the future of rural America. We are the largest supporter of FFA and have long-standing relationships with 4-H and other educational organizations. We work hard to live up to our mission and values every day and represent the values of the communities and customers we serve. We have heard from customers that we have disappointed them. We have taken this feedback to heart, as they should. Going forward, we will ensure our activities and giving tied directly to our business. For instance, this means we will, number one, no longer submit data to the Human Rights Campaign. Number two, refocus our team member engagement groups on mentoring, networking, and supporting the business. And three, further focus on rural America priorities, including ag education, animal welfare, veteran causes, and being a good neighbor, and stop sponsoring non-business activities like pride festivals and voting campaigns. Number four, eliminate DEI roles and retire our current DEI goals while still ensuring a respectful environment. And number five, withdraw our carbon emissions goals and focus on our land and water conservation efforts. We will continue to listen to our customers and team members. Your trust and confidence in us are of the utmost importance, and we don't take that lightly. As we look forward to celebrating our nation's independence, we also celebrate our more than 50,000 team members across 2,250 stores. Rural communities are the backbone of our nation and what make America great. We are honored to be part of them. We are always here and ready to serve you and your family with our legendary service for the life you love. See you in the stores. So apparently what's happened here, well, just so people are familiar with Tractor Supply, if you're not familiar with Tractor Supply, they're a farm and ranch store. Farmers and ranchers go in there and they buy feed, farm and ranch supplies. They're like the wheelers of the day. If anyone's grew up in Nebraska, South Dakota, Wyoming, a lot of these central plain states, you're familiar with wheelers and you'd be familiar with Tractor Supply, Bongars. So what Tractor Supply has done is, and I looked at where they're headquartered at. They're headquartered in Tennessee. And yeah, they are headquartered in Brentwood, Tennessee. They're a Fortune 500 company, so they're a substantially large organization. Let me see here. So what's happened here is customers have been complaining about essentially their their new and revised business practices, including diversity, equity, and inclusion. People aren't happy with that. Let's just say people are not happy with that direction. Um, I myself work for a Fortune 500 company as well, and my organization has done the same thing. And what's happened is organizations are stepping away from doing what they were created to do in the beginning. Like Tractor Supply was some guy or group of people sat down, hey, we want to start up this business. Something that might have been started in a garage, and they grew larger. So essentially, people come to a group of people for supplies and help and all that, in which now they become a business. So this is exactly what Tractor Supply is. Um, and it's like they were started in 1980. But I would like to see where their stores are all at. I know Nebraska's got stores here. I'm pretty sure they are. Um, oh no. So Tractor Supply started in 1938. It was a mail order business that they called Tractor Supply. And so they've been around for a while. Okay. About 100 years there, you know, close, well, they're shy of 100 years. They've got a little ways to get there. But so customers are unhappy with their diversity, equity, and inclusion. Essentially, what's going on with companies now is a lot of businesses are catering to these other special interest groups of people. I did find a Washington Post article, titled "The Farm Supply Chain About to Cut DE&I Roles Amid Pressure." Outcry followed. Well, yeah, no kidding. No surprise there. Um, One of the country's largest farm supply retailers announced Thursday that it would cut diversity-focused positions and withdraw its carbon emission goals in response to right-wing pressure that sparked an uproar from other customers and advocacy groups. So what's going on essentially is companies are spending, millions of dollars on climate programs, carbon emission programs. At the same time, they have to invest in these other special interest groups of people, from hiring to business practices to what have you. Essentially, DE&I is uh, made companies shift focus on what they're actually created to do. Like you look at a trucking company, for example. We'll talk this Schneider, for example, is a trucking company, and their main focus is moving products, whether it's raw finished goods from point A to point B. That is their bread and butter. That's it. That's what they do. That's how they pay their employees. That's how they pay benefits. That's how they pay insurance. So the more freight they move across the country, back and forth across the country, the more money they make. And that's their bread and butter. But now, these right wing groups are now, well, now you gotta watch your carbon emissions. You gotta do this, you gotta do that. So now you got companies literally to fund these programs that they have to do or feel like they're obligated to do, because if they don't do them, they're going to get canceled, like cancel culture, they'll get canceled. So now these businesses have to take from their bottom line, essentially money that they've earned from their core business, like Schneider moving trucks back and forth across the country, delivering raw and finished goods to customers. Now they got to take a portion of that revenue now, and they have to allocate that to different right wing type liberal programs. So, um, so going on here, Tractor Supply Company made the changes after fielding criticism from customers about some of its programs. The Tennessee-based business said in a statement it also about to stop submitting data to the Human Rights Campaign, LGBTQ plus advocacy group, and to no longer sponsor pride festivals and voting initiatives. Right. Essentially, they're saying um, our customers have spoken. And when you think about it, when you look at rural America, you think more conservative over liberal. So you got these hardworking farmers and ranchers um, doing their thing, and nobody gives a shit about LGBTQ. I mean, if you want to be LGBTQ, I don't care, but don't force it down my throat because I don't care. I don't force my beliefs and values on someone else, just like I wouldn't let anyone else force their values and beliefs on me. Will I take it in consideration? Yeah. If it's something that adds value to my life, yeah, I would definitely take you know take it in. But I don't care about people who are involved in LGBTQ. I don't give a shit. Just like they probably don't give a shit about mine. Straight male um, values and beliefs. So moving on, the move is met with celebration from conservative activists, well, of course, and consternation from others, including New York Animal Sanctuary, LGBTQ organizations, and association aims to support Black farmers. Now here we go, making things racial again. So what? The farmer's black? Who cares? He's out there doing his thing right next door to his white neighbor that's also doing the same thing, growing the food, raising the beef and pork that's put on our tables every day. So who cares? Of course, Tractor Supply did not respond to requests from comment from the Washington Post on Saturday. Yeah, because they made their decision. And really, when you look at it, these customers, or not these, but these companies work for the customer. So back to standard trucking as an example. So customer A needs a delivery of auto parts on this day, and they reach out to Schneider, hey, can you guys do it? So, well, yeah, we can do that. But first we got to, got to report into our humans right campaign. And no, I want my product here and I want it this day. I don't give a shit about what other things you're doing. I'm asking you, can you deliver the product that I need delivered? Yes or no? I don't care. And the company is the latest to find itself at a crossroads between customers with different political beliefs. Last year, Bud Light sales dropped after it ran an advertisement featuring a transgender social media influencer. And Target lost business after revealing a Pride Month collection. And while a conservative legal campaign dismantles corporate and government diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, some companies are privately rebranding their DE&I policies. Tractor Supply, which sells animal feed, tractor parts, and power tools at more than 230 stores nationwide, was recognized for its inclusiveness last year. Bloomberg praised it for promoting gender equality, while Newsweek called it one of the best companies for diversity. Well, guess what? That will be reversed because Tractor Supply is pulling away from that. And another thing too, I've noticed with a lot of companies, especially the organization I work for, with these DE&I policies in place that most, if not all, businesses across the United States, companies are now forced to hire based on DE&I requirements. And what I mean by that is let's say a organization has 10 positions open. They're looking for, let's say they're looking for let's create a make believe. Company W is a retail store. They sell products and groceries, and they got 10 store stocking positions open where you put product on the shelf. Okay, so they got those 10 positions open. Instead of taking in the applications and resumes and reviewing them and all that and finding the best qualified person for the job, 10 people to fill these positions. So you're looking for the 10 most qualified or the 10 most capable people of doing the job. But instead now with DE&I, you now have to hire based on gender, based on race, based on other criteria. So now it makes the hiring process a lot harder for these companies because now if they don't comply with these diversity, equity, and inclusion policies, it makes them look bad. And nobody and no organization wants to look bad. So they try to comply with this the best they can. So, they might be instructed, well, you got to hire out of the 10 positions, you need to hire 5 women, and they can be of any race, any political affiliation. Then the other 5, we need maybe two African American men, we need 1 Asian male, we need 1 Indian male, and then the last position can be filled by a white guy. So now instead of, this retail store takes in these resumes, and when they go to, you can't tell what other than their name, you can't tell what gender these people are, or you can't tell what their race is or their political affiliation until you actually sit down and interview each person. And then from there, it's like, okay, we got our 5 women here we can hire. We got this guy, and this guy, and this guy. And yet you bypassed or had to bypass 10 of the most qualified people because you have to hire based on DE&I. So it makes getting a job a lot harder too today. So And so, statement from Melissa Kersey, Charter Supply Executive Vice President. She says, "Our deeply rooted mission and values are the foundation of who we are as an organization." She said this in February 2023. They dictate that Tractor Supply prioritize a safe, respectful, and inclusive work environment that values diversity of thought and perspective. But the company came under scrutiny this month when conservative podcast host Robbie Starbuck denounced Tractor Supply's diversity and climate policies. An employee recently had messaged him to complain that the company was supporting LGBTQ groups, Starbuck told the Washington Post. And so this guy, Starbuck, visited Tractor Supply weekly to buy provisions for his farm in Franklin, Tennessee, and said he wasn't comfortable with the company putting money toward inclusion programs. Now remember, guys, some of these companies, I mean, you're not forced to do this, but if you don't do it, then it makes you look bad. Okay, so it's not like these LGBTQ organizations are forcing Tractor Supply to put money toward inclusion programs. But if Tractor Supply doesn't, it's like you're breaking a moral code with these groups. It's like, well, no, I'm not going to do this because we don't support these kind of things. You know, like I said earlier, if you want to be part of an LGBTQ community, by all means do so, but don't force your values on me and expect me to support what you're doing. That's not going to happen. Just like I wouldn't expect you to support my conservative values, my conservative morals, and the way I think and the way I do things. I don't expect other people to jump on board with how I live my life. So I don't care how others live their life. Just don't try to make me live my life according to your life. Okay. And that's no different than in business. You know, don't make us do what we don't think is important to us. Because really, Tractor Supply is also saying, well, these DE&I policies don't really, they're not benefiting our organization at all. Matter of fact, it's upsetting our customer base. So now you have to make a decision. Do we continue going down the path we are and continue funneling money to these offset organizations, or do we go back to what we were created to do in 1938, and that is to serve the customer? These are the customers we have. These are hardworking rural American ranchers and farmers. These are the people we serve, and these people depend on us to deliver a product or a service that best benefits them. And having DE&I policies and people on the payrolls that support DE&I policies is not a good fit for our customer base. And trust me, I would almost guarantee those customers they kind of think like I do. It's like, we don't care if you're gay. We don't care if you're queer. We don't care if you're this or that. Just don't force your beliefs on me. Do what you want. That's what I love about America. You can do what you want, but don't don't force your ideas and policies on me. And I don't, like I said, I don't force my policies. I don't force my beliefs on anybody else. I don't try to convince people to think the way I think because everybody's different. And I think we forget that most of the time. And they say, and yeah, it looked like Tractor Supply was looking at a potential boycott. Customers responded to say that they would join the boycott, and the company's share price fell by 5% in the past month, according to Financial Times. So yeah, you like the old saying goes, if you go woke, you eventually go broke. Well, there's probably no truth to that. Starbucks and other conservative ex-users publicly celebrated after Tractor Supply said it would roll back several of its policies. And they go on to say, this is about getting back to an environment where businesses are just businesses again, and they're not proxies for social values or political values. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. And then now we get to where there's certain groups of people that are now they're not so happy. Like John Boyd, founder of the National Black Farmer Association, an advocacy group for African American farmers, told the Post that Tractor Supply is sending the wrong message to America. In 4 decades as a farmer, Boyd said he has seen white farmers who made up about 95% of the farms in West Africa spit in black farmers' faces and call them the N-word. That's unfortunate. That's really uncalled for. But do you really think an advocacy group is going to fix that problem? Probably not. And they go on and say we're just going backwards. I mean, it goes on to like, well, do you want to support the minority or do you want to continue supporting the majority? Because I guarantee the minority wouldn't be a large enough customer base to keep Tractor Supply in business. So it's like it's half dozen one and the other. What does an organization do with what they have? So, and then another person says, well, Sarah Kate Ellis, president of LGBTQ advocacy groups, GLAD, said Tractor Supply has brought harm to their LGBTQ customers and employees. How? You can still go in there and shop. They're not telling you can't come into our stores and buy your stuff here. We're just rolling back our policies. We feel that these policies do not benefit us as a business. We're not telling you can't come here. It says Tractor Supply is embarrassing capitulation to the petty whims of anti-LGBTQ extremists put the company out of touch with the vast majority of Americans who support the LGBTQ friends, family, and neighbors. Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true. Like I said, I don't, like I said, I have nothing against LGBTQ groups. I really don't. I don't have anything against black farmer groups. I don't, be who you want to be. And Tractor Supply is saying, we're rolling back these policies, but it doesn't mean you can't come in our stores. By all means, come on into your store. Come on into the stores and buy what you need. They're not advocating that you can't come here. They're just rolling back these policies because these policies are costing them money. When you're sitting there funding different programs, how does that benefit your organization? It really has no benefit. And it goes on to say DEI programs became popular in many organizations during the racial justice movement sparked by George Floyd's murder in 2020. The backlash and involvement because reclaiming policies created new inequalities. Well, yeah, that's kind of true. Um, so yeah, and then in closing, it says, is this going to cascade down to lots of other companies, or is this going to be the lesson that other companies take that you don't want to reverse course on trying to promote equality? Look, there's I I don't know. I have never worked for an organization, including the U.S. military, that was prejudiced against any group of people. I never have worked for any place that's ever been prejudiced towards anybody. A lot of places I worked at, I felt were very diverse organizations to begin with, including the one I currently work for. It's a very diverse organization, and so I don't know. I get along great with everybody that I work with, work around, whatever. I don't have any issues with anybody, regardless of your race, background, your sexual preferences, or what have you. Like I said, as long as you don't push those beliefs on me, I don't care what what fence you swing for. It doesn't bother me in the least. But this might be a new trend moving forward, where companies are going to review their policies and think about, well, are these DE&I policies really benefiting our organization? Me personally, I see it as a hindrance when it comes to hiring and all this stuff, because I do believe that companies are hiring based on different quotas and requirements that are put forth by these different DE&I supported advocacy groups. I mean, and I think that's, it kind of takes away from, and it makes it harder for certain people to get jobs. I get that. But these policies don't increase the bottom line at most companies. A lot of, it's more for show. So yeah, we got a DE&I policy. We got a department up on the top floor there that does everything for DE&I, but yet is it really benefiting the company? Does it really increase the bottom line? A lot of companies are for profit. So, like I said, I mentioned Schneider Trucking. They're a nationwide trucking company. They move goods and services across the country via truck and rail. So, I mean, they're a very large organization, and their livelihood depends on the amount of freight they can move annually back and forth across the United States. And so that's their bread and butter, just like Tractor Supply. Their bread and butter is, well, we supply farm and ranch supplies to our local farmers and ranchers. That's what they do. And that's how they make their money. That's how they pay their employees. That's how they provide benefits packages. That's how they get, employees get paid vacation. You get all the perks of working there is because of what the core business of that organization does. So when we have DE&I policies in place, it actually kind of hinders that organization from doing the best that they can. And yeah, customers do notice and will speak out. And so those are things that organizations have to really pay attention to, listen to carefully, because you look what happened to Bud Light, you look what happened to Nike, you look what happened to Target. Sales are have slumped. They've taken hits. A lot of companies cannot afford to take hits like that. So, but anyways, I thought this was a kind of an interesting topic. I know most companies have jumped onto the DE&I train, and some companies are they're really second guessing these new policies and requirements put forth. And so, anyways, guys, if you like this video, give it a like. I'll leave my email in the description. Comment if you want. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can email me. Like I said, I'll have that email address down in the description. I'll put it in the video here as well. But that's all I got today, Grunts. Something rather simple, easy. So that being said, everybody have a great day. Toodles.